Now let's everybody know I want us to kind of understand things that I don't really get. A lot of times when you're looking for profit on your property, you're gonna try and look for property that has a good price. A lot of investors will say we're looking for a property that has, let's say, good cash flow after expenses. You're getting a good monthly return, and you're getting the property for a very good discounted price, which you can, make repairs, additions, and increase the value. And everybody wants those things, but it's not really around like that. Okay, let's be real. Anyway, looking at an example property, you'll see that this property right now is priced at 150,000. They're asking $1.15 million. So at $1.15 million in the Oakland, California neighborhood, this is a 4-unit property, right? So if you have a 4-unit property, you're gonna get this saying your loan is 5,000 per month. If you make what, a 56% down payment. So you see this problem? This becomes a big problem here because you're taking $600,000 in order to get this to a $4,000 per month loan. And the problem with that is 600,000. Is that really the best place to put 600,000? It's I guess, in a safe place, but at 4,800, okay. How much rent are you going to get with each unit? 2,000, 3,000. Let's say 3,000. That gives you about $6,000, about $6,000 rents coming in. Your expenses here, it doesn't show here, but let's see if it shows here. Um, it doesn't show here, but at 4,000, I can already guess that you're going to have a lot of expenses already. At least per month, you're going to have maybe another 4,000 expenses. So you're going to get $3,000 a month. Let's say you get $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month times 12 is $48,000 a year, right? And you say, yeah, I'm happy with that. But you already spent 600,000 on the down payment. You have the transaction costs. You're going to have repair costs. You're going to have damages, other expenses. So let's say you make 4,000 a month. That's 48,000 a year, about 50,000 a year. It's going to take you 10 years to get back your 600,000. And within that 10 years, some years you'll totally lose, sometimes you'll gain. On top of that, in 10 years, this property needs to be at 2 million, 3 million. And let's say it's at 2 million. Let's say it's at 3 million. Your rents are going to be what, 4,000 a month? Your prospective buyer, are they going to pay 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 6,000 a month? Really? That's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for a 1.15 million purchase today. In 10 years. You're going to sell it for 2 million, 3 million, and you're going to hope for the rents to come up to 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month. You see the predicament here? You're taking a lot of chances, hoping on appreciation, regular rent increases. So I fail to see where where the value is in this. And I kind of understand why people go into business instead of multi-units. And people say the money's in real estate, but is it really real estate? I mean, when you take on a property in America, you take on all the transaction costs, you take all the insurance, the taxes, the tenants, the rents, the businesses. You take on all that. And on top of that, you're in a market where the consumer will look at you as the enemy, as the usurper, the person that's providing a place to live. They're going to look at you as you're the one taking from them. But anyway, ultimately, putting down 600,000 just seems to me very a big investment into a property that's not having the upside you're looking for, but this becomes the issue. You're in real estate, you're doing business as an agent, as an investor, as a developer, but purchasing a lot of these properties at market, there's a lot of risk you're taking on, and the profit margins, like the return on investment, I've noticed if you really, really do all the expenses, all the numbers, you're really coming down to like a 1% return on investment or a negative. Most times it's negative. So just a small thing I'm looking at as I look at properties in different cities, rental rates. I was kind of running into these problems, and you have to also remember prop places that you might think are well priced and that have a strong rental rate. The city is against you. You have rent limits. You have rent controls, and you have a lot of neighborhoods that are aging now. So even this property on the outside, it looks okay. For the Oakland community, it's not bad. I've seen worse. This is pretty good. They kind of try to do a lot of things to take care of it, but you have to remember a house like this, the undercarriage of this is all wood. You might have a cement base or a crawl space. You've got a lot of wood damage, possible wood damage that can be around here. A lot of cast iron piping could possibly be there. A lot of old plumbing, old electric. So when you walk into this property, you have to think 1.2 million, 700,000 down, possibly 800,000 all in, you know, and you're making $4 grand a month. You could have took your 600,000 and you could pay yourself 4 or 5 grand a month. That just eat up that for 10 years just for that to run out. You could have put that in the S&P, you could have put that in the CD and pull that money out 5% on your money on CDs now, which is like it's even hard to get that strong rate of return on real estate these days if you're really looking at what are some of these properties are. So I can't figure out why people are actually investing in properties like this. What are they getting? Everybody's hoping on appreciation because that seems like the one thing that everybody brags about, appreciation. I bought something for 6 cents. 10 years later, it's worth $1 billion. Look at me, look at me, look at me. But holding on to that property, being able to deal with all those expenses with the rent income not being where it needs to be, right? That's the problem. Every year you're bleeding, 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 bleeding. And then we don't count the inflation and the carrying cost and the labor cost through those years. And I think it becomes much more than the initial price versus the final price. The prices and the labor and the work in between, I don't know. I think there's a lacking in the market.